The Doctor and his friends have plenty of unfinished business. Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Doctor Who storylines that still need completing. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be going over some of the Doctor Who storylines and plot points which still have yet to be resolved. In some cases, despite being around since almost the beginning of the show. Because we'll be discussing the plot, there will be plenty of spoilers ahead, sweeties.
If I were you... oh, perhaps I was you, of course. Or perhaps you are me.
Number 10, coming back for Susan. The Doctor's original travelling companion was his granddaughter, who called herself Susan, though whether that was her real name is anyone's guess.
Please stay. Please stay here with me.
During an adventure where they free a future Earth from Dalek occupation, the Doctor leaves Susan behind, having seen her fall for one of the Resistance fighters and wanting her to have a more stable life.
Grandpa, I belong with you!
Not any longer, Susan. You're still my grandchild, and always will be. But now, you're a woman too.
However, he promises to come back one day. To this day, the Doctor hasn't done so. On screen. Yes, we know they reunited in audio dramas, but even so, it's a major thing that most fans never got to experience. So, while actress Carol Ann Ford is still alive, we'd love to see them do so in the show itself.
One day, I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back.
Number 9, Jack Harkness's missing memories. Given his eventual immortality, much of Captain Jack Harkness's life remains unexplored and mysterious.
Sorry, old man.
But perhaps the most curious part of the former Time Agent's life happened relatively early in it. In his very first appearance, Jack mentions that while still working for the Time Agency, he discovered that he was missing the memories of 2 years of his life.
Woke up one morning when I was still working for them. Found they'd stolen 2 years of my memories. I'd like them back.
The fact is never once brought up again during Jack's time on Doctor Who, its spin-off Torchwood, or any of the supplemental media in the franchise. In all likelihood, it was just something the creators chose not to focus on, but we're sure that Jack would appreciate the closure just as much as we would.
2 years of my life. No idea what I did. My friend over there doesn't trust me. And for all I know, he's right not to.
Number 8. Why the Doctor left Gallifrey. There are many unknowns when it comes to the Doctor's history, but one of the most deliberately obscure is why he left his home planet of Gallifrey in the first place.
Why did you run away from him in the first place? I was bored.
Many of the Doctors have suggested different reasons for why over the years, from being frightened of prophecies, to being bored, to wanting to help people, to trying to hide a powerful doomsday device.
What is that?
Something very dangerous.
Some of these are stated to be lies, and other times the Doctor has suggested that there may have been more than one reason. Whatever it or they were, we may never know for certain.
Why did you do it?
Oh, I'm sure your doctor has explained.
Not even sure he remembers.
Number 7, the hybrid. Throughout the 9th series of the revived Doctor Who, references are made to hybrids between species, which is vaguely connected to a Gallifreyan prophecy about a hybrid of 2 warrior races that would stand in the planet's ruins and unravel the web of time.
Is that what you ran from, Doctor? Your part in the coming of the hybrid? Half Dalek, half Time Lord.
However, unlike most of the story arcs in the show, the identity of the hybrid is never definitively confirmed. It could be the immortal girl Ashildr or the Doctor himself. Former showrunner Stephen Moffat has claimed it refers to the combination of the Doctor and Clara, which, besides being not what a hybrid is at all, is also profoundly unsatisfying. Since he isn't running the show anymore, it's unlikely to be brought up again either.
The hybrid is a very dangerous secret.
A very, very dangerous secret.
And it needs to be kept.
Number 6, the Valeyard. One of the more ambitious seasons of classic Doctor Who sees the Doctor put on trial by the Time Lords in a season-long arc, with each story being used as evidence. The prosecution is headed by a Time Lord named the Valeyard.
It is my unpleasant task, Madam Inquisitor, to prove to the inquiry that the Doctor is an incorrigible meddler.
The mysterious man is revealed by the trial's end to not only have manipulated the evidence, but also to be an amalgamation of the Doctor's darker side, formed somewhere between his 12th and final incarnations, at least of his first regeneration cycle.
There is some evil in all of us, Doctor, even you. The Valeyard is an amalgamation of the darker sides of your nature, somewhere between your 12th and final incarnation.
Although these Doctors have come and gone with no Valeyard in sight, and expanded media has offered some explanations as to the Valeyard's origins, fans do have other theories as to his identity.
With you destroyed, and no longer able to constrain me, and with unlimited access to the Matrix, there will be nothing beyond my reach.
Number 5. The Timeless Child. The most recent plot point on our list, the 13th Doctor and her friends, while attempting to find her TARDIS, encounter mobile, intelligent cloth-like creatures, which menace them. In addition to being able to fly and speak, these shrouds can apparently read minds, and mention something called the Timeless Child to the Doctor.
We see deeper though, further back. The Timeless Child.
What did you just say?
She doesn't know.
They indicate that whoever or whatever it is has been hidden from the Doctor herself, and that it has something to do with her past. Despite seeming prime material for a story arc, the Timeless Child is never mentioned again in the 13th Doctor's first series, so we can only imagine and hope that it will be brought up again soon.
I don't understand. It should be here. We did all this for nothing.
Number 4. The Mobius Doctors. While on the planet Khan, the 4th Doctor encounters a mad scientist who is attempting to resurrect a Time Lord tyrant named Mobius.
On guard, Mobius.
The revived Mobius battles the Doctor both physically and mentally, literally. The two of them get into a contest in mind-bending, a sort of psychic contest in which their past regenerations are displayed on a screen. So what's the mystery? Well, in addition to the 4th Doctor's previous 3 lives, 8 other faces are shown on the screen. Although the faces have been confirmed to be members of the production staff, their appearance has nonetheless led to plenty of speculation that the Doctor may have lived more lives than previously thought. Number 3. Jenny. After encountering a spontaneous progenation device on a planet at war, the 10th Doctor suddenly finds himself with a daughter, whom Donna dubs Jenny.
She's my daughter.
Hello, Dad.
Although initially hostile to the idea due to memories of his family, the Doctor eventually warms to Jenny, only for her to be cruelly taken away from him when she is killed.
No!
However, after he's left, she revives and proceeds to fly off on adventures of her own. Although Big Finish have begun a line of audio plays starring the character, fans would love to see Jenny return on screen too.
Planets to save, civilizations to rescue, creatures to defeat. And an awful lot of running to do.
Number 2. The Master's Daughter. From the Doctor's daughter, let's turn to that of their nemesis. While on Skaro, the Mistress, the female incarnation of the Master, reveals to Clara, before being interrupted, a brooch made of dark star alloy that was given to her by the Doctor after an event involving her daughter.
That's pretty though, isn't it? Got it on the olden days of Gallifrey. The Doctor gave it to me when my daughter...
This is the first indication that the Doctor's longtime frenemy has had children. Who this daughter is or was, and who the Master had her with is unknown. But most intriguing of all is the possibility that we could have met her already and not known it.
What are you doing?
murdering a Dalek. I'm a time lady. It's our go.
Before we unveil our top pick, here's some honourable mentions.
I was the first one ever to be signed up for the Time Agency. They were so proud of me. The Face of Boe, they called me.
Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Number 1. Clara and Ashildr. The conclusion of Series 9 sees the 12th Doctor break both his own rules and the laws of time in an attempt to rescue Clara from her inevitable, self-inflicted death.
I'll remember.
Through a complex series of events, Clara ends up being semi-immortal, in possession of a TARDIS shaped like a restaurant, and in the company of another immortal, Ashildr.
Where are we going? Gallifrey.
Although Clara must eventually return to the moment of her death, she is implied to have plenty of adventures before then. What these adventures may be, and whether any of them involve the Doctor, we don't know. But some of us sure would like to. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.